Hello, everyone, and welcome to the exciting conclusion of the 2023 Canadian National Championships, elevated by Thoughts-Based Athletics, the Canadian Disc Golf Tour, as always, brought to you by patrons of Park Pro, and, of course, the PDGA Canada, doing so much for a sport in Canada. But, guys, we got a really, really great final round. I got Casey and Ben in the booth. What do we got going on?
I'm excited for the last round. Hopefully see some fireworks, lead changes.
You
Good
made
shots.
it back up to lead card, Casey.
Yeah.
Made a statement. Hot round.
Me and Mr. Freeze.
As you can see here, it's a very long, challenging course, but very scoreable. Definitely very scoreable, and it should make for a very exciting round as you have Kalan.
Still holding it down from the first round heat.
We're going to see
15.
I'm hoping we can see him do the same thing again.
Yes.
You guys probably aren't hoping for that.
Yeah.
If you're on the card with him.
Yeah.
Mr. Chunks.
Yeah.
20 under. 20 is a big number. That's averaging 10 down a round.
Yep.
I think that's kind of the standard bearer.
Yep.
I can tell you when we were back at home, I wasn't there for this one. We were thinking, you got to be able to get to 30. 30 seems like a number.
30, yeah.
Average 10 down a round.
Yeah.
Joe Vander Veen.
Joe with a neg 12 second round, getting on the lead card.
Look at them guns.
Solid.
Joe's flexing on us here.
Yeah.
He's pretty young too, isn't he?
Yeah. Pretty much every Ontario player that is coming up in the ranks is young, and they're all very good.
There's Bryan Freese. You saw him flinching a little bit right before the round. He said he did something silly and hurt his ankle.
He was
by
jumping
down
around.
The staircase.
Are you serious?
Classic Bryan.
Classic Bryan, trying to act like a kid.
Yeah, hole one, it's a par 4, 500 foot. If you guys haven't watched round 1 or 2, go and check that out. We saw this one on round 1. It's a pretty straightforward shot into the big field, and then the challenge is this up shot.
Yeah, just get something out into the middle there and have a look into the tight tunnel, which is right there, right into the
I like
basket.
this hole. I like it seems like one where you actually do have to decide, like, do you want to just throw it out in the middle of the field and take the bigger up shot? We saw you do that in the first round and then not get up and down.
messed it up, yeah.
Or do you want to be a little more aggressive, push the edge?
And try to go for the 2.
Yeah, or even just the much easier 3,
Mm-hmm.
you know? We only saw 50% of you guys get the...
I think I was the only one to get the birdie there, or par.
No,
Everybody else
two of
birdied.
you. Okay, Kalan, this is one of the holes he parred in round
Didn't
1.
par, or did par, yeah.
He left that short. He certainly didn't get after it.
No.
Very enthusiastic intro for Casey.
Okay, Casey.
Got the cow bucket.
You came into the tournament with a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
But then obviously after round 1, the momentum was not on your favor, but you're back on track here.
Mm-hmm.
See how aggressive you get. This is definitely more aggressive than you were in round 1.
Yeah, I was just asking it for it to skip here, and it did, so.
Stable distance driver there.
Yeah, from what I remember, I think that one like kind of fell out of my hand when I was throwing it. I didn't get everything behind it that I needed to.
That's a pretty straightforward little pitch around the corner, though.
Yeah.
This is our first look at Joe on coverage here in Nationals. He was on coverage at Foxwood.
Yeah.
But very exciting young player and
Lots of power.
yeah, lots of power.
I'm excited to see him. We've seen his name on the tour point standing, so we know he's been playing some pretty consistent golf. Wow, that's smooth.
Very compact player. Yeah. Very strong.
So similar to the shot we saw round 1 from Max, where he bites off a lot of distance, but doesn't push the boundary on the right there.
Mr. Freesby.
I'm pumped we get to watch Bryan again. I love watching him play.
So since we hinted at it, Bryan jumped off a stairwell down onto the flat, and he kind of messed up his heel on his plant foot. So
no.
He legit barely could walk when he was walking up to the first tee box.
Well, the muscle memory still works there. You see his swing still looked like himself.
Yep. But you probably saw that he didn't plant at all. He just kind of rotated on his foot.
Yeah, and he hopped out too. Like he hopped out of his follow through
Yeah.
instead of staying planted.
Yeah. But
Doesn't affect the forehand at all.
No. I think that is parked just behind the basket.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just what he needs to take the pressure off. I mean, Not literally, but figuratively. Go in.
Go in, yeah.
Ooh.
Good shot.
Yeah, good approach for Joe.
Wow,
Two
he's a
good
smooth
approaches.
operator.
Yeah.
Here's Kalan.
The kid.
What looks good as well. Very good.
We talked about how level-headed he was in round 2. This is another animal. Round 3 at a Canadian National Championships, going in with the lead. See if he can hang on here.
Way better than first round. Actually got it into the gap that time.
Very nice. Yeah, Kalan plays a mature game for someone so young. Solid.
Casey does too. Casey plays super mature.
Yeah, for actually though, when I first met Casey, he was the kid. He was very young, and you also played a very mature game. It seems like age is not super related to how level-headed. I don't think people necessarily get more calm and more level-headed as they get older.
No.
Bryan getting his birdie to drop as well. Looks like we might start off pretty hot here.
Yeah, you can definitely see the limp there.
Yeah. Yeah, good start for the card. How it should be played.
There we go. Well, we won't see Bryan running down any more putts.
No, I don't think Bryan will be moving as fast as he usually does.
Good stroke, though.
Good first hole. From all players, good start. You can see the limp there.
Yeah. Zooming in on it.
Hole 2 is a par 3, 315 feet. This one is kind of similar to the first one, that you just kind of got to get it out into the field. The basket is tucked into the woods here. Less of a tunnel, but more of a controlled shot into the green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely don't just don't miss left and right. And if you have anything kind of out front of the basket where the circle is, you're going to have a look. The only danger is leaking on your putt. If you leave yourself a longer putt, then you have a kind of death putt into the bushes at the back.
Okay, we get a look at Kalan's forehand here for the first time, I think.
Looks clean.
Wow.
Looks good.
I don't know why he doesn't go to it more often. Very nice.
Yeah.
So Kalan looking to improve upon his minus 15 round from round 1. He's already 2 strokes ahead of the pace he
I
set.
did the same thing, eh?
2 wide, 2 straight.
Yeah.
Well, that one's stuck. It dug deep there, so.
Still a tough putt. That ceiling is really low on that tree there.
Yeah, you got an open look, but you'll have to hammer it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's forehand.
Kind of same thing, 2 straight.
Yeah, he throws
Oh,
his
no,
forehand
that's
with a
good.
very open stance there. I don't know if you noticed that. He's facing the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Just using his fingers and wrist just to put the disc on plane.
Yeah, Brian's
Oh,
not
Bryan.
feeling it with his foot right now.
Man, this is not what you like to see.
Yeah, a
That's
little
solid
early.
off.
And from what I remember, I think he gets really lucky, and he has actually a line back there.
Okay. Wouldn't
In a minute,
surprise me to see people hit the branches and just tumble straight down and be parked. Yeah, so
Not
you just
high
need to
enough.
throw that harder and
Yeah.
trust your stroke, but
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. I didn't want to end up where Brian was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable.
This is a really good shot, though. I remember he gets all the way out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Bryan really known, you can really see it there, really known for playing really quick.
Mhm.
Saw his disc, his lie, and just saw the line and just went for it.
Okay, we see Joe from a knee here.
Yeah, good putt.
Clinical.
Yeah. Up, down on the wrist.
Yep.
It's good.
Smart to put the knee down when you're in the deep strata because you get your center of gravity. You actually get it out wider than if you just split the stance.
It's unfortunate for Kalan.
That is tough.
Looks like Joe's going to get a stroke on the card.
On everybody.
Man.
On this hole especially is... Yeah, I missed this both rounds, so I was very disappointed.
I'm surprised you're not just firing up that stable approach disc.
Well,
and
I
just,
threw that A3 that time, but it flipped up to do the same thing as the A4 as the first round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
I mean, it's probably a bit of not wanting to do what Bryan did there, right? You're wanting to make
Yeah.
sure that it's in
Yeah.
the field for the whole flight.
Yeah.
Joe, very static, not a lot of movement.
No.
No.
Yeah, just,
I'm gonna say it. What we're all thinking. He's jacked.
Yeah.
He is
That
jacked.
guy's got some
He's strong.
muscles.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to activate the whole body. We don't want to see that. We're not ready for that.
Yeah.
Hole 3, it's a par 3, 350 foot. Yeah, just get it onto the field. Most people are going to be throwing the forehand. Just to avoid getting those trees on the right.
Yeah, if you were to throw the backhand putter at this one, I feel like you bring in the short right rough.
Yeah.
Whereas if you throw in the forehand, you're really only bringing in rough that's 20 feet from the basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it really is your poison. It depends on what the wind's doing. Because I remember the wind was coming off our back last time, so it was like I didn't want, and it looks like it's doing the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Maybe a little headwind actually.
If you have a knockdown wind, you could try to ace it.
Yeah. Joe goes for the flex line here.
This has to be long, right?
It looks like it to me. Nope.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, this hole is 350. So a fair bit longer than the last one.
Oh, so we got, but there is quite a bit of headwind here too. So
Oh, this looks like a fairway driver backhand from Kalan. This is a very tricky shot. Wow.
that looks
Look
good.
at
Got to
that.
stay up.
Yeah,
so
that's the right mistake to make, though,
Yeah.
because if he puts too much air under that, there's a lot of bad things that can happen.
that's the only thing with that backhand turnover though into a headwind. It's always going to knock it down really quick.
Yep.
So you saw how much angle I put on that because of the headwind, and it just pushed it way too wide.
Wow, and look, it just gets smashed down.
Yeah. Circled edge though.
Yeah, still a look, and it's a headwind putt, which, ironically, I think is a little easier when you're at that distance because you can use it to slow the disc
float it,
down.
for sure. Bryan working on his forehand, way better than it used to be, and very good.
Very
Little farther out than everybody else, but still have a look.
I'll take a quick second to thank Ryan. Ryan is our catch cam for round 3 here. He kind of bailed us out a little bit. Vicky, our usual catch cam, she had to take off early. So huge shout out to Ryan from Local Disc Golf for getting on the camera.
Kalan just with the layup there. Bryan didn't really commit fully on that one. Gave it a run, but didn't fully commit with the height. Might be feeling that hail a bit more still.
Looks like that wind that was blowing across the basket isn't now.
No, it's pretty dead.
Pretty dead calm. Wow, Casey.
Great putt from Casey. Taking advantage of that lack of wind too.
Yep.
That's where you make your strokes up on the field. As someone who's competing against you, it seems like it never stops you pouring putts in.
Mm-hmm.
Middle distance to just outside circle.
Joe, good putt for the birdie there.
2 really good birdies. Bryan's left a little meat on the bone here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, good putt.
Well, that's some tall rough pretty fast. It's funny when there's not a person standing in there, it doesn't look that tall, I guess, maybe because the basket's so tall.
It slightly drops off there too. It kind of drops off into the heavy rough in there.
I think that par is just fine for Kalan.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're throwing the backhand with the fairway driver on this hole, I mean, he can get it. He had the angle control. If he had the tiniest bit more height, he would have got it. But that is a tough one.
Casey back to the moose hat.
Yeah, the cow.
1,000 rated
Cow-
disc
cow
retrieval
hat,
there too.
yeah.
That was class.
That was nice.
Here we have a look at our scoreboard with the CDGT standings there, so you
Sweet.
can see the implications. Kalan currently in first, Thomas and Casey tied for second, Joe fourth, Max fifth, Andrew, Patrick, Eric, Bryan in sixth, and Cam taking up 10th. So
Thomas 5 for 5.
So Thomas with 200 points in the series so far. I guess that was what, TCO, and where else did he pick points up?
Foxwood.
Foxwood, he was
right.
over at
Yeah,
Foxwood,
okay,
got
that
the
big
win over there. And,
Yeah.
and here's a closer look, and you can see Casey and Thomas and Bryan all at the top, Max as well,
Noah.
all at this tournament and fighting for points on the tour standings. And
Yep.
I
Was
think this
Noah?
is the third. No, Noah's not here, but this is the third to last event. So
Yeah.
kind of running out of time to pick up those points. And being Canadian nationals is worth 1.5 times the regular amount of
Okay.
points.
Okay.
Hole 4, it's a par 4, 670 feet. Try to get it over the river or lay up before that, and then take your second shot up the hill into the green here.
Yep. Yeah, and just worry about that green a little bit. Yeah, and then the disc golf green is kind of raised up, a little slopes on each side, so it can be a little tricky navigating that as well.
So all 4 of you guys looking to go across the ditch here, do you think?
I think everybody's laying up, actually.
Okay.
Pretty sure every single, because obviously you saw what I did in first round if you watched round 1, threw it OB, so don't want to do that again.
That was a perfect layup from Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you saw Joe's scorecard there. He started 3 for 3, so he's starting off pretty hot.
Actually surprised me what Joe did there, because he has enough power to get over it. But yeah, he just, playing his game, right? And that's what you're supposed to do.
Honestly, I'm surprised to see it from you as well, Casey. But I mean, I guess after you didn't make it the first round.
Yeah. And there's not really a point. Like it's you only gain an extra of 50, 60 feet.
Yeah,
and
the way this green slopes, I can tell you that for me, I feel like I would want to get across to have the shorter approach because this is not a green that I feel like I'd want to be putting on. But
I feel pretty confident in just throwing that approach disc on forehand up onto the hillside. So
it's not windy either. So
no, this round was definitely calmer than the first round that I played.
Here's Kalan's second shot. Probably a little bit further back than he would have wanted, I think.
Yeah, I think he also likes throwing the little faster disc going into the green on here, because I asked him about that when we were there, and he said he feels more comfortable throwing a little quicker disc.
And there you go, and that he proves just why. Putting that one well inside circle 1.
Seems smart. Faster disc, right? He can trust the skip, use the upslope, because you were talking about how the green is sloped up to the basket. So if you bring the faster disc in, you can trust that you can, bump and run it up there.
Good as well, Joe. Inside the circle, 15, 20 feet.
You're going to the forehand too, even without the wind.
Yep.
Work it off the green. Maybe a bit of a spike. Yeah, that's really nice.
A little bit farther away, but
22 footer up the hill, looks like. Brian
trying to dunk it
down, eh? Oh, it's so good.
That's a great shot from Brian. Not really showing too many signs of that ankle's bothering him on his throws.
No.
But
just when he's walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Great putt.
The fact that Casey's out here says just goes to show how well you guys have been playing.
We all played that hole, yeah, for sure.
So Kalan, for such, I think we really get used to young guys being the bombers, right? It's always like the 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that throw it 550 feet is what we usually see.
Yeah.
But he seems like a young guy, not that he throws it, like he certainly has adequate distance, but he seems like a technical, smart, accurate player.
Yeah, definitely.
Unusual in the young gun.
Yeah, he thinks the game very well.
Brian's just going to tap in his birdie. There, we have another
Another
star
star
card right off the hop.
Clean.
Solid disc golf.
And look at Kalan.
Who's got a good huck face there on the putt?
Yeah. Doing his best Thomas Gilbert impression.
Everybody's got a little something, eh?
The most intense huck face in the game from Sir Thomas.
Yeah. Hole 5, par 3, 300 feet. This one's pretty straightforward, and I would say probably a must-get, especially at this stage of the tournament. Road is OB, and obviously the pond's OB. So,
yeah, nothing really to talk about here. Just throw the hyzer, and hopefully you don't get a weird roll away off the rocks. Hopefully it just checks up beside the basket when you're throwing the hyzer.
Pitch and putt.
Pitch and putt.
got it. Huge shout out to Thought Space Athletics for sponsoring this event.
They got a fun team.
They got a really fun team.
Mr. Joe, 4 for 4 starting here. And looks like it's going to be 5 for 5.
He can just about reach it from there. 3 out of 4 start, better than round 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the things are tightening up here. Hey, the lead is down to 3 with
Yep.
you behind Kalan.
And Joe's only a stroke back of Casey as
It's
well.
got to go.
Okay.
A little short. A little too low. We had a bit of kind of crosswind. I thought it was going to lift, so I threw it too low there.
Gotta like Kalan's swing style on a hole like this. It just seems like one he won't miss.
Yeah. Just like that.
So good.
Don't get bit by the snakes in the rocks.
And there's certain, it's funny that some of these holes you can just kind of tell, you know, not everyone has the same skill set, right? But it feels like for the way that Kalan's swing sets up, it's hard for me to picture him ever missing this hole.
Mm-hmm. Bryan, good shot as well. Little uphill putt for him, but should be nothing wrong. Oof.
Bryan.
Man, he had good pace on it.
Mm.
And again, those flags, you mentioned it round 1, but those flags are just to mark a bee's nest.
Yeah.
Or a wasp nest.
Jeez.
Whoa, you short armed that.
Yeah.
Your whole torso just stopped partway through.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't
Yeah,
even
no
stand
follow
up to
through
the
at
putt.
all.
Bryan making no mistake on the comebacker.
Yeah, gingerly getting off those rocks. Gingerly.
I think maybe the first time you can feel the tension here.
Joe,
Yeah.
good birdie.
Like maybe perhaps the weight of a Canadian, of a national title. For 4 Canadians, right? We don't have any Americans on the card.
No.
4 Canadians. Love to see it. Yeah, I think it means something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, disappointing par there. But me and Bryan, the old guys on the card, taking the pars, and the young boys taking the birds.
Now look at Joe's putt here.
Yeah, he finishes the stroke beautifully, gets the fingers through, gets the hand in the chains.
He's another guy that you can just tell when he's dialed in. He's got that focus.
Yeah, for sure.
Hole 6, it's a par 5, 985 feet. Got to get it through this gap. There's a Mando on the right and OB on the right, so you can't take it over the other fairway. Just try to get it as straight into the fairway as you can, and then the challenge is pretty much on the green here. It's pretty challenging.
Yeah, I like the play we saw from half the card round 1 of pushing the right edge of the fairway early, and with a more stable disc, it'll fade back to the left side. I think it just seems to make the fairway the biggest and maybe the easiest because you really just don't want to give it away off the tee here.
No, yeah.
You need to get distance and not be in the rough.
Yeah. So I think Joe goes for this.
Okay. Wow, that is a sweet swing.
Got the arm for it.
Perfect shot.
Man, his rhythm, his tempo is
Way
beautiful.
at the bottom.
Such a good throw.
Oh, and the roll.
Yeah.
Talk about turning the cameraman. It's funny because I think we told Ryan to come up a little bit shorter because everyone was kind of laying up.
Yeah,
And then sure
yeah.
enough, Joe first.
Joe just juices it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think everybody else on the card here kind of has doing that layup play.
Fortunately,
And he got
Really?
a nice kick out there.
getting the kick out, but it's still he still hit the trees and
Yeah,
earlier than he would have liked. So
You're still fairly pinched on that though. And I'm trying to do the exact same thing I did round 1, and it looks like I did it perfectly.
Is that a mid-range there?
perfectly
Yeah.
straight.
M1.
Yeah, Kalan threw a slower, not necessarily a slower disc, but a slower swing,
Mm-hmm.
but still put the flex shape on it, which I don't know, kind of seems like a mistake to me. That
Bryan was trying to go for this
Oh
one
my
too, but I
goodness.
think he gets a pretty unreal kick here.
he got some late flip.
Yeah, watch
there.
this kick. Oop, pops it right out in the middle of the fairway.
Well, he nerves it. He deserves it. Everyone happy for him there.
Yeah. So this is actually a pretty tough shot, but it looks like he does it fairly well. Kind of turfs it into the ground, but you don't need crazy distance if you're just looking for the the birdie here. To get
Yeah.
the 3, you got to do what Joe does off the tee. And this is one of the ones where I wasn't throwing the correct disc. I need to throw my more stable disc here.
You're still in bounds, though.
Yep.
And you'll be throwing across the slope. You could take a forehand into the green from that side.
Yep.
It should make it easier to control where you are on the hill than if you're going straight at it. Bryan with prime real estate there on the red
That's
tee
everything.
box. Does he make it all the way up? Okay.
Long putt.
60-footer?
Yeah, more than that probably.
Yeah.
He was just in the front of that bowl.
Okay.
See if Joe can take advantage of that great drive.
He should be able to put this fairly close.
Oh, no.
Wanted it too much.
So does he need all of it there?
He's
That's
still
still a full pull?
probably 420.
And a lot of uphill at the
Yeah,
end.
and a lot of uphill. So
Well, he's
needed it
more
all.
than pin high, so
Mhm.
It just seems like he probably could have gotten there with like a flat to hyzer shot without flexing it fully, but maybe not.
Yeah. This looks good.
Going to be short,
No, that's
just a
perfect.
little.
That's a great spot to be in. You're not challenging the death putt there, so
Yeah, like Ben said, throwing it into the hillside here with the forehand.
One little scoot,
Yeah,
side by
just
each.
fine. Brian's umbrella gonna attack him.
One eye on the Mel umbrella. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
good bid.
Yeah.
Got it chain high. Well, this is a scary angle to be coming at this basket.
Yeah, I think he just lays it up.
I mean, that's still a birdie.
Yeah.
2-putt birdie.
Easy birdie.
It's nice that the wind's blowing the way it was there for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good putt.
Better putt than the first round.
Putting straight up.
Really good framing from Matt here too. With
Yeah.
his clouds in the
Mhm.
background.
Beautiful blue sky.
Yeah, shout out to Matt. Sneak it in there. Sneak it in there.
Represent. Okay, clean up.
Another star frame.
How about that?
We're just wrecking the course right now.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
a lot different round than we saw round one. The holes that you guys made a bit of a mess on in round one, we're seeing you guys have obviously figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so officially we can say that Joe Vander Veen is on fire. 6 for
think so.
6.
And Kalan doing a really good job of, keeping that lead.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is a gorgeous
Composed.
shot.
He
Safe.
knows he got away with one there. A little bit snuck it a little bit on the left side there. Let's take a look at our scoreboard through 6. Kalan, as we said, holding on to the lead over Joe, who's -6 through 6. Casey, not doing too bad yourself, -4 through 6. Thomas, -5 through 8. Patrick, Max, Brian, all at -20. Eric, Cam, Austin rounding out our top 10.
Yeah, seeing the cream rise to the top. A lot of big names on that board.
Yep.
I mean, this is go time. This is like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
This isn't just any old tournament. This is nationals, and you're gonna have to play with a little bit of risk,
Yeah, definitely.
especially if you want to catch Kalan. He came in with a pretty hot lead.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those holes that you may have to attack a little bit harder than you normally would. Hole 7, par 4, 733 feet. Pretty easy, pretty standard hyzer first shot, but the second shot you really have to execute.
Yeah. Yeah, get close to that rock so you don't have a death putt anywhere. Especially, it always seems that the bowl there, where the pond is, the wind comes up out of there and swirls a bit, so it makes every putt challenging.
So jumping back to that leaderboard there, I mean, obviously it stands out seeing Joe 6 under through 6, but the other thing that jumps out to me is remembering Kalan had a 6-stroke lead after the first round, and it's been nearly a full round and a half since then, and he's still got 4 of those 6 strokes.
Yeah.
He's-
Very solid
He's
disc
been
golf.
very composed.
Yeah. Great shot by Joe. Opens up, if the closer you are to that tree line, the more it opens up for the backhand hyzer into the green.
Here's
Looks like he
Kalan
landed
now.
in some sand.
Yeah, it's just the end of a cart path. So I thought when this left Kalan's hand, I thought it was way too wide, but the height, right? Everything just swings in. So he's in a good position there. Might be a little pinched off for the backhand, but nothing.
When he's
nothing
not
wrong.
swinging hard at all, like you
No.
can see, he's just smoothing him out.
Yeah, you don't need to throw this shot really hard. After I let this go, I thought this was going to be into the woods at the back, and I just check up. Yeah, I threw it a little too much, but it should be okay from there.
Are you going to be too close to that stuff there? Is that going to...
No, I got far enough left, so
Okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, I throw the forehand around it.
Bryan with the big halo disc here.
Yep.
Oh, that could be in the stuff, eh?
Is it a little bit lower than your guys'?
No, it checks up good.
Oh, he's on the tee box again.
If he would have skipped, it might have been bad news, but it did check up nice right into the dirt.
Okay. So I'm excited to see you guys being a little more left. It should make it so that you can bring your hyzer into the slope here.
Yeah,
Like,
for
Joe's
Joe.
angle should be ideal.
Joe's angle is perfect, yeah. Yeah, but he sawed it off. I remember this shot. Yeah, he sawed it off, and it kind of rolls a bit.
I don't know if did you see he was standing in some sand?
It was
there?
the footing was weird there for sure. Yeah. And Kalan has to go over top of the bushes, so that makes that shot way more difficult.
When you guys probably can't feel the wind.
No, and
The wind is
this is
blowing up
kind
in
of
the
when
air.
it started to pick up too, the wind.
I mean, you can see the flag moving, so you must know.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan going to the forehand to push
Bryan.
against the wind.
Yeah,
Oh, please sit. Okay, good.
good shot.
I'm never a fan of rocks on the basket for damaging your disc. These ones they're nice. They look very, very nice.
They're pretty smooth too.
It hurts my spirit a little bit when I see a perfect shot possibly damage the disc.
There we go.
And that's a great approach from Casey.
So, but like I said in the first round, I don't like it down there because there's nothing to really putt at because you're putting directly up at the basket.
And you can't quite slam dunk it.
Exactly. Yeah.
and I mean, speaking of that, Joe just put it as in the exact same spot.
Right to where we are, yeah.
And Kalen's dealing with some wind issues here.
So he gets it on the tailwind side of the basket. That's definitely a good idea.
But again, I would have liked it right under the steps, right? It's just you're not putting up at it, and the disc does weird things. And when you're putting up like that, and it's on the top of the basket, and just like push it straight down. So
It's definitely easier on the tailwind side than a crosswind or headwind.
yeah, it's true.
That's a good putt from Joe. These putts from these weird angles are a lot about composure.
Yeah.
And calming, because you don't feel comfortable because you just don't putt like this a lot.
No, exactly.
So it's hard to settle yourself down. And I've seen a lot of people.
There you go. Oh,
800 rated disc retrieval.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people make big errors where they yank it and miss the target completely just because you're just not comfortable.
Yeah, what I find on baskets like that in a situation where you're putting up that steep, I just really try to jam it into the top of the basket.
Yeah, so that
Right
it gets
in
in.
yeah.
It penetrates.
Yeah.
See you there. Yeah, the big contrast between the swing you chose and the swing Kalan chose there.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely turned the shoulder, lagged, put some zip on it,
Yeah.
and you were rewarded with a shorter approach.
Mm-hmm.
Hole 8, it's a par 4, 880 feet. First drive, you're going to want to land it somewhere in this area here before the green and the sand trap here. It's OB on the left, and it's just, we'll call it natural OB on the right. It's just not great to be in there. And then obviously this green surrounded by OB as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we can see some birdies on this one. It's probably one of the harder holes to get a 2 or a 3 on, but.
And it's definitely one that you know, if you're trying to chase down the leaders, you got to get aggressive.
Yeah. So I look like I
This
pretty
looks
much
good.
throw the exact same thing as first round. Yeah. That is exactly where I want to be.
Not the skippiest grass,
No, and the headwind, right? We're throwing direct into headwind now.
but that's good angle. Really good angle on the disc.
Bryan currently on -4 for the round.
Yeah, so if you watch Bryan, his normal swing isn't that compact usually. He
Yep.
spreads out way more than that for distant shots, but that's just because
Yeah,
of his injury.
that looked like he was throwing like 75% there.
Joe here
Ooh.
broke his birdie streak on the last hole.
So this was kind of scary because as soon as it got up high, we were like, oh, that could go B. Because it lifted and then it just pushed it way out.
Okay.
But the OB doesn't start there. It starts up farther.
And the wind is just toying with these discs.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see for Kalan. This is a tough spot for him for a lower power player into the headwind.
Yeah. But he was talking about this disc the whole time. He birdied pretty much every hole with that disc. In the first round, he was just relying on that force that he had.
It's just a stable Z force.
Yeah.
He seems to like the over the top swing.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Gotta
leak
sit.
left, hey?
Gotta sit.
Little bumper from the wall.
Oh,
Oh my
Just
goodness.
over top.
jumped over.
You know, there's a parallel universe where
Yeah.
that catches the
Where
board
it
more
hits
solid.
the board and stops it. So after seeing that, I'm excited to hopefully get a stroke here. And Bryan was laying that up after he saw what Kalan, sorry.
Yeah,
Like you
Kalan.
said, Casey, you see the chink in the armor, and that's
Yeah.
when you got to get aggressive and try to get that stroke, and possibly two, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Joe has to play around that Mando now. He can't throw it.
Oh wow.
He has to throw like a big hyzer up and around that Mando.
and of course that brings those trees on that right hand into
sure.
play.
But he was smart. He just played the layup there.
He made sure to get over the golf green,
Yeah.
over the sand. Yeah, I mean the birdie's so unlikely from really from any position on this hole, honestly, but especially from out of position. Okay, so you've left some meat on the bone. No one looking at anything easy here.
No.
Everyone's going to have to earn it.
Yeah. Bryan trying to do his little floaty dunk. Good shot.
That'll do.
It's the pull.
Okay, this is a big one. The wind has died for you. That's nice.
Yeah, it stopped. And
Oh.
didn't give it a chance.
Didn't give it the height. We saw the same thing from you round one on this hole. From you were putting from where Kalan is, but
Yeah.
just didn't get it up chain high. Oh my goodness.
That was just a misrelease.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knew that right out of his hand.
So this is actually the first point when I was like, oh, he's getting nervous.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
Right?
We have not even seen the slightest bit of a lack of composure from him.
Yeah.
But I mean, one putt like that, it could just be a grip thing, especially when you see him do that. Wow, come right back, slam it in pure.
Yeah.
But even his body language and everything,
it's
it's different. It's
different,
different
for
than it's
sure.
been in the last round.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe the weight of a Canadian national championships is starting to weigh on him. So Bryan drops it in with two hands.
So we
man,
all
Brian's
gain-
having a good round for a guy that's hobbling around on 1 foot and clearly does not have his best stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, getting the knucks
Yeah.
The Nucks.
from the Canucks. Show him the water bottle.
Hole 9, it's a par 4, 536. Plays a little bit downhill. We got some water to contend with here. The easy play is to lay it up on the right-hand side onto these golf driving greens, and then kind of bottlenecks here right before the basket and the circle one. But if you can lay it up to those greens, and then it should be a pretty easy second shot.
Yep. Yeah, just it should be a fairly simple 2-shot hole, but it, like I said before, the wind's swirling up here, and it makes this little baby hyzer difficult sometimes. So
those flat spots are actually ancient relics from what was called golf.
yeah,
They called
Golf
those
tee
tee boxes. Because in that sport, they actually tee.
Ah.
the
Up their
golf
balls.
tee box.
Yeah.
So I was actually really worried about my shot there. It flattened up too much, and I thought it was going to go OB, but it checked up just before the.
What's the angle going to be like from there? I guess fine for if you're
It's
throwing
fine.
the forehand.
Forehand, yeah. The only thing I was worried about is being behind that tee box sign.
Wow, Joe throwing a very slow disc, it looks like, to make sure that he doesn't make that mistake of pushing straight.
Good shot. Anything down right in there
Okay.
is perfect.
I'm going to be curious to see what Joe does from there, forehand or backhand.
Let's see if Kalan can respond here too.
Stable
good.
disc.
Probably wants this to be a little more left.
Good shot.
Oh, that's
That's
so
a great
good.
shot.
Wow. Okay, we get another look at his forehand.
Yeah.
Been
Play it
good so
wide.
far. Yeah, that's a quality swing.
I was actually worried about that going OB. When he released it, I was like, he sawed it off, but. My approach disc that I've thrown pretty much every shot. And short. That doesn't look that short, but that's about 25 feet short.
That's all in the ground play there, right? That's
it
probably
just
about as
bounced
short
back
as that possibly could have stayed.
Bryan putting this one up against the rock. He should be able to drop that one in, and
As long as he can walk down there, he'll be able to make it.
Easy 3. Joe, same thing. Yeah, good shot.
great shot.
10 feet behind the basket.
Bryan was probably wishing that they were allowed to use the carts. You guys probably were able to use carts during your practice rounds, I would guess.
Tester, another tester putt.
Oh my goodness.
Fortunate roll away
little
too.
Weird roll too. So that's 2 now. That kind of came out high for
So
for
where
Kalan.
did that putt miss? Was that high and
hit the flag
Hit
on
the
the top,
flag.
okay?
It's the band, and
2.
just like that.
Yeah. So
Casey-
like I said on the first or the previous hole, I noticed something happened,
Yeah.
and the nerves kind of started getting to him. So
With
I
that
thought-
birdie, and
I thought he was settled down, I have to say. The last putt there, for certain, he did not look settled before he threw it. Like he,
no, he rushed that second one for sure.
yeah.
you can see the disappointment on his face.
Yeah.
He knows what he's playing for. Casey, you know
Are
what
we
you're
tied
playing
up
for.
now?
We're tied up.
Tied up, and Joe's only a
Joe's
stroke
only
back.
one behind.
Oh my goodness. And Bryan quietly is not that far behind
No,
either.
No.
On one leg.
Yeah, and
Imagine if he had two.
a secret.
Imagine
Bryan
if he had two legs.
is just lurking in the woods back there. Just
Wow.
lurking.
He likes that shot.
Yeah.
Time for another scoreboard check in here.
All
As
tied
we
up.
mentioned, tied at first, Casey and Kalan.
And Max also tied with Bryan. Eric Weeb.
Max is having a good round.
You know, you have to say everyone from
Thomas right there.
in the top 7, I would say has a chance to win. I mean, I know we're hitting the back 9 here, but
Austin.
we're talking 5 strokes.
It's not that much.
We got 3 of the boys from Winnipeg on there: Marshall, Austin, and Bryan.
Austin Bates. Different Austin.
Oh, sorry.
That's the American.
Austin Bates. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Is he the only not Canadian
Yeah. I
on the
believe
board
so.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is shaping up to be a great round. That's it for front 9. Back 9 is going to be. I can't. It's got to be
Wow.
electric because this is
It's gonna
just.
be.
This is
It's
gonna.
gonna be something. Yeah.
It's coming down to the wire for sure.
Yeah, and thinking about some of these holes on the back 9 too, they
There's some.
are
swings.
not straightforward.
No.
We can see some drama.
Yeah.
Catch
Don't
us on
worry,
the back
there it
9.
is.
The exciting conclusion.
Thanks, Ryan.